very thankful for Daniel Geale for agreeing to the fight, and his trainer Graham Shaw, who've been very cooperative throughout this whole process. They came in all the way from Australia, which is a long trip, and then going to New York, and we actually had to rearrange the press schedule because this fight, when we made the announcement, I was telling Gary, when we made the announcement, it got so much buzz on the radar with the media that we were requested by HBO to make the LA press conference after the Cotto Martinez fight. So that's why we're here today on Tuesday. We were all at the fight. I want to send our congratulations to Top Rank and to Miguel Cotto. Had a terrific performance on Saturday. And I think the middleweight division is getting very hot right now. We feel that Gennady is the best middleweight out there. I know Gary will tell you differently when he introduces Daniel, but this is a very intriguing fight. Daniel is clearly the most accomplished and best known opponent that has been willing to fight Gennady. We feel it's the right time now, July 26th, especially being in the big arena at Madison Square Garden with the co-feature with two undefeated heavyweights. When you have two undefeated heavyweights in Madison Square Garden as your co-feature, you know the main event is special. And you got, Gary represents Brian Jennings from Philadelphia, and we work with Mike Perez, who's originally from Cuba, has a very distinguished amateur career, and lives in Ireland right now. But when you have two guys willing to risk their undefeated records in a very tough fight, and the way I look at it, that's a very evenly matched fight. It's a 50-50 fight, but the reason why they're fighting each other and taking that risk is for the opportunity to fight, a guaranteed fight for the WBC Heavyweight Championship. And so we're excited about that fight as well. We're happy to partner again with Madison Square Garden. They've been very supportive of Gennady. As I mentioned, this will be his third time there, but the first time in the big arena, and a fight of this magnitude really deserves to be in the big arena. It's our job on the promotional side to take the financial risks, but we've seen the type of media response and fan reaction that Gennady's had, both here in the United States and internationally, from fighting in the media capital of the world and the mecca of boxing. The tickets went on sale yesterday as a pre-sale, and today officially, and the Garden's been very, very happy with the sales, and so we're excited about how this is going to work. We'll also introduce Tony Walker from HBO, who's here today. But at this point, I'd like to bring up Gary, or introduce Gary, who will say a few words on behalf of the promotion.
It is going to be a terrific fight. It's something that Tom mentioned. I believe that Golovkin is a great fighter. He's a great champion. We acknowledge that. And I certainly feel that Daniel Geale will be the stiffest test that Golovkin has faced. And I'll go more into that when I introduce Daniel. Just want to talk about the co-feature, which Tom talked about. Brian Jennings, number 4 in the world, versus Mike Perez, number 5 in the world. Jennings is super confident. He's a Philadelphia fighter, very, very athletic. And I believe that he's going to give Mike Perez the most trouble that Perez has had, because he will not be standing in front of Perez, and it will be a terrific fight. And as Tom said, anytime you can have two undefeated heavyweights, and one of them an American heavyweight, Madison Square Garden is the co-feature, it's a special night. So I thank you all for being here.
A lot about him up here, but he's had some very, very good fighters in the past. I know that Graham's going to have Daniel extremely ready for this fight, as he has for his whole career. We are looking forward to a 12-round difficult challenge for Gennady, and it's about time, I think, for us that we get somebody in there that presents that kind of challenge, so that we can show what we really are about. We are trying to match wits with one of the best promoters in the world and one of the best coaches and a 2-time ex-world champion. So it's a challenge. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
When I first met Daniel, we were over in Germany, and we were fighting Sylvester for the world title. And those of you that are in boxing know that if you go to Germany, normally you have to knock your opponent out 4 times to lift the title. And I'm real proud of Daniel because he went and he won the world title in Germany from Sylvester. And then he went back to Germany again and lifted the title from Stern. So that's all you need to know about Daniel Geale. Daniel Geale travels well as a fighter, so he'll travel well here to the United States. He's going to give Golovkin a different look than Golovkin has been used to. Daniel's a volume puncher, throws a lot of punches from a lot of different angles, has a lot of movement, has very fast hands, and is highly underrated. And as a promoter, you obviously, you in a room like this and you're listening to questions from both fighters, and when we're in New York, and everything's about Golovkin is who you're gonna fight next, or what's the next big fight for you, or what's next, or what's next. My suggestion is that you keep your eye on the ball, because what's next for you is Daniel Geale in Madison Square Garden. And he's not the average fighter that you fought. He's gonna give you a lot of different looks. As I said, we have a great amount of respect for you, but the difference between Daniel and a lot of the fighters that have been in the ring with you before, Daniel's not scared. He's not afraid. And a lot of the fights that Mike Tyson won is because the opponents were scared when they came in. And that's not Daniel Geale. So I'm very proud to be associated with Daniel and my brother Graham Shaw. And I'm gonna give the mic to Daniel to say a few words. But trust me, on July 26th, you are gonna see one hell of a fight. And he's gonna be in a fight, and it's gonna be a real fight. And then at the end of the night, they'll be talking about Daniel Geale and how he lifted 2 belts in Germany and came and lifted 2 belts in the United States. So it's my pleasure to introduce Daniel Geale.
Thanks, Gary. I just want to say thanks to everybody for turning up today. It's a good turnout. Firstly, I guess I'm very excited and thankful to HBO for putting me on. Gary Shaw, my team, Graham, Gary, and Bill. It's going to be a huge fight for me. We had a little bit of disappointment last year in the Barker fight, as most people seen, but that just motivated me to come back stronger, get back in the gym, train harder. And I'm feeling good. That's why we wanted this fight so badly. Everything's falling into place. I feel like I'm getting better. I'm getting stronger, faster, more powerful. So this will be perfect. It's a great fight. A lot of people have been saying, and I'm hearing it even back in Australia. Daniel Geale is going to be a challenge for Gennady Golovkin. I don't see myself as a challenger. I see myself coming back over to win the title. I'm confident in myself. I know my ability. I know if I fight the way that I know that I can fight, I will win these titles. And I'm excited that it's at Madison Square Garden. It's a huge venue. As a young person, you dream of fighting in a place like that. So that adds to it. That makes me more excited. But I've got one job to do, and I'm very, very excited to do it. And I have such a great team around me, so that gives me every confidence that when I come back to the US, I'm going to win these titles. So thanks a lot, guys.
People thought that Daniel was ducking Golovkin, and that's not true. It's just circumstances, and in April we couldn't get a pay-per-view date in Australia, so we were unable to do it at that time. But I can assure you this, and I'm sure Tom will tell you the same thing, and he's been a great promotional partner as well. And that is, when Tom called me and said, will Geale fight Golovkin in July, I said to him, and he'll tell you, I said, you have the fight. And that was the whole contractual negotiation. I said, you have the fight, it's on, and hopefully Perez will be well, and he can fight Jennings. And so it turned out, and that's how this whole fight happened. It was one phone call. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just this very funny situation for me. I think Gary not serious today because this is United States. Very different situation. This is not Germany. This is United States. I'm from California. Hey guys, I respect Daniel. I respect his team. It's big chance. We have a lot of time for a great show, for an amazing show. Please watch TV. July 26th, Madison Square Garden. Please Thank you for HBO. Thank you for Madison special. Thank you very much, guys.
We're not thinking about anybody past Daniel Geale. Daniel Geale's, like I said, a formidable challenge, and there's no sense in discussing anything for us anyway, or thinking ahead. Daniel Geale's the first obstacle in front of us.
I guess the few challenge that I present would be, my movement. I do move probably pretty well. I hope. So hopefully that's gonna cause him a few problems as well. But I know myself as well that I've been in some big hard 12-round fights where I've had to dig deep, especially late to win titles. And if we get into that sort of territory, then I'm comfortable there. We'll see if he is. Yeah, I mean, a lot of respect for Gennady. Like he's fought whoever's in front of him and mostly knocked him out. So you can't take that away from a guy. He does have good skills, great power. But yeah, if you stand in front of him, obviously you're gonna get hit. So that's sort of how I see it.
It clearly wasn't by choice that Gennady didn't fight in April, and you see the heart that Gennady has. I mean, with the Rosado fight, that was his first fight in Madison Square Garden. There was a lot of pressure on him to perform on HBO. It was the second fight after the Toxa fight, and he had the flu. He basically couldn't breathe on Thursday, and they were filming a 2-day special, and it was just an odd situation because normally Gennady and Abel and Oleg are very open with the media, and when HBO didn't have access to him, they knew something was wrong, and so that's the only reason he didn't fight in April, because of the unfortunate passing of his father. But Gennady's the type of guy that doesn't get out of shape. You see him, he's it's been now what, 3 months? 4 months since he fought in February, and it's just because people are used to him being on such a fast-paced schedule. But July is, it's a great day at the end of July, and Gennady's in shape, and able to tell you that when he showed up to training camp, he's really not overweight. He's not a big guy. He doesn't walk around at 180 or anything like that. He walks around maybe 168, 170. So he's a consummate professional, even when he's not training.
I didn't realize Daniel was a lot bigger.
Okay, thanks guys. Face forward, please. Forward. One fist out. One fist out, please. Right here. Face forward. Perfect.